Hello friends, welcome to Drishti IAS Score Booster Series for Prelims 2026. Myself Abhishek Mishra. So a very warm welcome to this Score Booster Series which is being launched by Drishti IAS, and the idea behind this Score Booster Series is to cover those topics in a very short span of time which are highly important for this year's prelims, right? That is prelims 2026. Myself Abhishek Mishra, and all these classes or all these sessions are going to be taken by subject experts in their own fields. For example, the current affairs session I'll be taking, and there will be other sessions. Let me just give you an idea that which all sessions will be there. So there are going to be 7 sessions, and the sessions will be starting from 8th of May. So it is like optimal utilization of your time. That is why we are coming up with this series, and zero time wastage, PYQ based coverage of topics, and only the topics you cannot afford to skip before prelims. These will be covered in these sessions, and we are going to start with the sessions on 8th of May, and the first session will be taken by me on current affairs. After that, there will be session on polity, economy. The fourth session will be on geography, environment, sixth will be on science and tech, and seventh will be on international relations, right? IR. So through these sessions, 7 sessions in all, we will try to cover all the important topics of for UPSC prelims. Now, covering all the topics is next to impossible, but here we will be covering topics which are having high probability, the topics which you cannot afford to miss in prelims 2026. So those topics will be covered, and by subject experts in their own fields. The first session will be taken by me, which is for current affairs, and I'll be taking it on 8th of May, right? And the coverage will be such that it will be helpful for you in the exam, and it will make sure that your time is optimally utilized, right? So that is an initiative of Drishti IAS English channel for the UPSC aspirants. And now in this session, I would also like to discuss with you some of the last minute tips that you should keep in mind if you are appearing for UPSC Prelims 2026, right? So for UPSC Prelims 2026, now we are left with, it is on 24th of May, right? 24th of May, and we are already, today is 6th of May. So now we are left with very less time, around 18 days to go for prelims, and how best we can make use of, how to make the best use of these remaining 2 weeks plus time that we are having. So let me share some important tips for exams, and you can also maybe ask your queries if you have any queries. So Priyanshu is saying good evening, very good evening to you, and also Rishi, very good evening. Now, let me just give you an idea or what has to be done, right? Because time is now very less, around 18 odd days are there. So how to make best use of the time? So the very first thing and very important thing here is that we have to revise, right? So most critical thing for us in the remaining days is revision and consolidation. Of whatever we have studied. Right. So revision and consolidation is point number 1, that we cannot afford to not revise what we have studied, because lack of revision will actually lead to confusion in the examination hall. You will just remember that okay, I had studied this, but maybe you will not be remembering the exact information which is needed to get the answer or get the right answer. Okay. I think there's a question from Aniket, that how much questions we should attempt out of 100 questions, right? So this is a very good question, that what should be the number of attempts, right? Number of attempts. See, Aniket, the idea is that we should not go with a set condition or a fixed mindset that okay, I will go and attempt 100 questions or 90 questions or 85 questions, right? We should go with an open mind, but ideally on a decent paper, I think the attempts, like again, it varies from individual to individual, but my suggestion would be on an average paper, at least 85 plus questions should be our attempt, right? 85 plus questions, that should be our attempt. Now, it may go up on an easy paper and it may come down on a difficult paper, right? So, we have to play as per the situation. So, if the question paper seems to be quite doable, right, which is not usually the case with UPSC, as you all know, but we should go with a flexible mindset. That means we should be open minded, that yes, around 80 or 85 questions we should keep in mind, that yes, this is the ideal range that I should be attempting, but we should avoid blind guessing. Blind guessing is to be avoided, right? So 80-85 questions, that should be a fair range, but again it may go up or come down depending on the level of the question paper, right? So I hope I have answered your query. Nisha is asking about please advise on the sleep schedule, right? So I think this is also one thing that many aspirants struggle with, the sleep routine, right? And many of us have this idea that or the habit of studying late at night, right? So we are studying late at night and maybe up to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., right? So this is normally the routine for most of the aspirants. But the problem with this kind of routine is that on the day of on the day before the exam, for example, on 23rd of May, nobody would be wanting to stay up till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But if that is the practice for you since last so many days, so on 23rd of May, you will find very difficult to sleep on time, right? Even if you lie down on the bed, maybe the sleep will not come. And this will actually lead to a very difficult situation, because if you reach the exam hall without proper sleep, it will affect your performance. So the idea right now, so one thing I told you, revision plus consolidation. The other thing should be to set your body clock right. Right, set your body clock right. That is, make it as per exam schedule or exam timing. That means now onwards you should be sleeping, or you should be trying to sleep maximum by 12, right? Not later than 12. So if you are sleeping by 11:30, 11, 12, that is all right. And make a habit of waking up at 6 a.m., right? So this will be giving you enough sleep also, right? You can maybe go for even 10 p.m. if you want, right? But I think during exam, because we have to study also, so if you are maintaining 6 to 7 hours of sleep, that is fine. So maybe 11 p.m. you should sleep, and by 6 a.m. you should wake up. So that and if you will practice it from now onwards, then you will not have a problem on 23rd of May. So it's very, very important that you maintain a good biological routine of getting up on time and also sleeping on time, right? That is very, very important, right? Then there's a question by Priyanshu that how we prepare the environment and ecology, which becomes frustrating. I think Priyanshu, in this our Drishti free series that is going to come up, it will be helping you because the subject expert will take the classes and they will discuss the high probability topics from these from this section, right? My general advice will be that in environment and ecology section also, a lot of questions are current oriented questions. So be thorough with your current affairs. I'll cover some of it in the current affairs section also. So I hope that will help. Next question is from Aniket. Drishti should bring a crash course of current affairs for mains exam. Aniket, right now we are discussing prelims, but yes, we will be coming up with a current affairs crash course for mains exam as well, right? Okay. Now, I have discussed two things with you so far in terms of what we need to do, right? Last 2 weeks suggestions, right? So, one thing is to be like division plus consolidation of whatever you have studied. Second is maintaining a good sleep routine, right? At least 7 to 8 hours you should try to get this much of rest, okay? And proper time, which is like say 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., right? This is like this kind of routine you should try, but you can have your individual variation also, like little bit, that will be helpful. Then for quick revision of the entire syllabus, like follow PYQs, previous year question papers. They are absolutely critical, right? So make it a point that every day you are revising some PYQs. Test yourself on PYQs and see that whether you are getting it right or wrong. And if you are getting it wrong, so what is the problem, like where you are failing? Try to address it. If it is lack of information, try to fill it up. If it is lack of application of that information you have, so then you have to improvise, right? And sometimes what happens that we do not read the question carefully. So that also you have to avoid any kind of silly mistakes in the UPSC prelims exam, right? So PYQs are also very helpful, plus you can read through the explanations, read through the explanation of mock tests, right? So if you have taken the Drishti test series, right, or any mock test, then you can just read through the explanation, because see, solving it takes time, but every day what can be a habit for complete revision of the syllabus, that you can just read through the explanation of a test, and it should be a comprehensive test. That means a full length test which has question from all the sections, as there will be in UPSC. So it will help you in quick revision of the syllabus, right? So PYQs and this reading through the explanation of mock test, that is also going to be very helpful, right? And right, musical rhythm is asking how many mocks for CSAT. So as many mocks that you can do, like in my view, you should go for PYQs. So last 10 years PYQs you should do very well. After that, at least 10 mocks, at least 10 mocks you should try, right? And then Sleepy is saying, I am so frustrated in revising the economics. It's very confusing and a little bit tough. Economics can be a little bit challenging for students not of economics background. But the idea again in economics is to have conceptual clarity. If you have conceptual clarity, and many times current oriented questions are asked, right? So it is not that difficult. I hope this series that we are bringing, it should be helpful, right? Then Praveen is asking me who is my inspiration. So my inspiration has been my father. He was in Indian Forest Service, so he has always been my inspiration. Sir, can we write and revise? Yes, if see, because now the time is little less, so maybe instead of writing and revising, it is better to read it and maybe just underline it or highlight it. That is better. So because obviously writing is always a better way to remember things, but because time is now less, so we need to improvise. So I think highlighting it or underlining it would be better, faster. Musical rhythm is asking about CSAT strategy. So for CSAT, see, it's not my subject, so I cannot give you a very detailed uh, idea about this, but general prescription for CSAT from my side will be that go through the PYQs, right? Previous year question papers, PYQs, and based on the PYQs, just find out that what is your baseline score. That means you just attempt a question paper of a previous year and see how much you are scoring, how many questions are you able to do. So that will give you a baseline that okay, this is my performance and I need to improve by how much. It will give you an idea, and based on that you can formulate a strategy that you need to focus more on reading comprehension or on logical reasoning or on maths, quants, right? So based on that you can maybe formulate a strategy, right? Then Sleepy is asking how should we update our international relations notes. So for that current affairs, right? Current affairs is the main thing, and you can also look up the PYQs, which will give you an idea what kind of questions are being asked. But for prelims purpose, I'll be taking in this free session, I'll be taking the current affairs section and also the international relations part, right? So I hope like most of the things will be covering, most of the important things will be covering there, right? And at last moment, which things we can skip in politics and IR? It's very difficult to tell you what to skip, but what not to skip, we will be covering in these sessions, right? What not to skip. Then Deepakshi is asking, sir, in mocks I am getting 83 to 85 marks only. It's my first attempt to answer, what to do? In fact, 83 to 85 is not bad. You are doing quite good. But yes, you need to improve it by another 10-15 marks, and that is another 6-7 questions that you have to get right. Okay? And it is very much doable. So just focus on your revision. Don't worry or don't be anxious that it is your first attempt. There will always be a first attempt. So we need to stay confident and do your revision well, and hopefully the free sessions that we are going to have, this free series of 7 sessions, it will also help you in achieving the required score, because the name of the series is boosting your prelims score. So I am sure that it will help in improving your scores, right? And then Kalam is asking how to manage time, right? We need to manage time. It's a challenge for most of us, but the point is that and this is my suggestion, right? Managing time. So see, we have 24 hours in a day, and now we should be making full use of these 24 hours. Now 8 hours is for our sleep. Another I think I can say 6 hours for doing our other essentials, right? Eating, taking bath, etc., right? Now after this 14 hours we are left with say 10 hours. Okay? You can reduce some time here, but then we are left with 10 hours. Now this 10 hours we need to utilize very well. This is for our revision time, and this time we should be breaking up into multiple segments, right? And after any segment, it should not be longer than say 2 to 3 hours. Okay? We have to take a break after every 2 hours or even before 2 hours, because see, continuously studying and just looking at the watch is not helpful. We have to study till the point our concentration is there. Once our concentration starts getting lower or it starts breaking, then we must take a break, right? And we should also switch between subjects. For example, if somebody is studying history and after 2 hours one is feeling saturated, then take a break for say 15 minutes, 20 minutes and come back again and move to a different subject, maybe polity, maybe do some quants of CSAT, right? Maybe read your current affairs and so on. So you need to switch subjects, right? Take breaks, switch subjects, take breaks, and always try to keep it interesting, right? And make sure that when you are studying, you have full concentration, right? The distractions are kept to a minimum, like maybe keeping your phone on the silent mode or keeping it away from you so that you are not distracted. So these things you must do to manage time, right? And it is again a very critical part of the last 14 days or so that we are having for UPSC Prelims exam, right? Then Priyanshu is saying lots of anxiety, how we can overcome it. So see, some anxiety is very normal, Priyanshu, and that will always be there. So for any such exam, there may be little bit of anxiety that we may face, but the idea is to channelize our anxiety into fruitful work or towards fruitful work. So some anxiety, some nervousness is fine as long as it is motivating us to do our best. But if it becomes overpowering, that means we are so anxious that okay, what to study, and we are not studying at all, then it is not helpful. That kind of anxiety we must avoid. But some bit of anxiety, that when we are concerned about how we will perform in the exam, and if that helps us to do better in the exam or do better preparation, then it is welcome, right? So anxiety, we should not allow it to go beyond a point. And why anxiety happens in the very first place, that also we should understand. So anxiety happens when we know that we should do something but we are not doing it, then we become anxious, right? So make sure that whatever preparation you need to do, you are doing it, right? Then anxiety will be addressed by itself, right? And then Aniket is asking, how many questions out of 100 are doable easily? See, so generally the question paper is always in the shape of a normal curve. So this is a normal curve. So the UPSC paper will also have some easy questions, like so maybe some easy questions will be there. Then there will be this segment which will be difficult questions. And there will be a very large segment which is your moderately difficult questions. Right. So idea is we should not be worried too much about this part, right? Don't worry about this. These are questions that you have to leave in the exam, right? And they may be 5 questions, at times they may be even 10 questions, right? So we have to consider that okay, our question paper is only of 95 questions or 90 questions. So we need not bother with that, okay? But the easy questions, we should do them 100%, right? There should be zero error here, zero error, right? So no silly mistakes, no misreading the question, right? No circling the wrong option, etc. We have to get them right. Okay? So that has to be practiced when you are giving the mock test or even PYQs. Next, out of the moderately difficult, right, we have to get some of these questions also right, right? Or a large majority of it. So general idea is that there may be around 20-25 questions of this variety, right? So which can take our score to 50 if we are doing this right. After that, we have to get another 25 to 30 questions right from this section, right? And around 10 questions are difficult section. So if I take it as 25 easy questions and 5 difficult questions or 10 difficult questions, so 35 questions, right? So out of 100, the division is like 25 easy, 10 difficult, right? Very difficult, 35, and 65 questions are moderately difficult, right? 65. So we have to get all of these correct, and out of these 35, we should get another 25 to 30 correct, right? So which will put us in a safe zone. Obviously, this is like something, it's a scenario that we have built up, right? The real exam may be a little bit different, but if you think like this, I'm sure that you will realize that the exam can be cleared, and it just needs thorough preparation and revision. Okay, adequate revision is needed, so it can be done, right? My optional is not ready yet, so will it be appropriate if I give this prelims and complete after? Yes, it is doable. Many students do that they clear prelims and after that they take the optional coaching, etc., and they also clear the exam. So that is very much doable. But again, ideally, if one has completed a significant portion of the optional before prelims, it is always advisable, right? But it can be done. Then how to get good marks in maths, because I face difficulty. Maths is somewhat challenging for most of the aspirants, but it can be done, right? So only thing is maths is all about practice. So you need to see the PYQs, you need to practice those PYQs, and also the practice, right? It basically boils down to practice in maths. Then Ankita, she has asked a very good question that paper को एक बार या twice पढ़कर solve करें. So see, idea of behind this UPSC question paper is, when you get the question paper, right? So we have to do it in phases. Like in the first phase, that means when I start from question number 1 onwards. So in the first phase, I will do the easy questions, which I can directly do. Easy questions. In the second phase, I will start trying the moderately difficult questions, right? And in these moderately difficult questions, I will try those questions where I can maybe eliminate 2 options. Eliminate 2 options. Right? Such questions I will be trying to address here. And after this, in the third phase, I can try more challenging questions. Right. So the question paper has to be done in multiple phases, and we should not get stuck on any one question, right? Because every question is carrying equal marks, and there is also negative marking. So we have to be very sure that whatever question we are trying or attempting, so we should be sure about it. And we should not get into anything that, okay, I have studied this subject so much, how I am not able to solve this particular question. Nothing like that. No question should be turned into a prestige issue for you. Every question is same. If you find the question to be, you are not able to solve it at that at once, move to the next question and so on, right? So idea should be to move from first question to the last question, and then again go back to questions which you can attempt, right? Because that will also help you to avoid missing out on any easy question, because many times what will happen that the first 10-15 questions are really tough. After that you will find questions which are somewhat easier, but what will happen, sometimes panic sets in among the students and they start thinking about the next attempt in the exam hall itself. So that we should not be doing. We should stay confident in the exam hall and try to do our best, right? That is the thing that we should do, right? What to do for CSAT in the remaining time? So PYQs is my suggestion, and practice a lot of mock tests, that will be helpful. Yes, marathon class or like whatever the series that we are going to bring, it will help in like giving a finishing touch to your preparation, right? It cannot be your entire preparation, but yes, it will help you in giving a finishing touch to the preparation, and you can watch the video live session, and hopefully all of the subject teachers involved, including me, we will try to cover all those topics which are really, really important, and where the chances of questions getting asked is very, very high. So these are topics, and it will help you in your revision as well, right? Yes, Umang is saying ki it seems that we are forgetting everything. See, this is also something that happens to aspirants before prelims. That when we are approaching prelims and we read something, we just have this fear that, oh, I'm not able to remember this, I'm not able to remember that. But don't worry, it is just a fear that you are having. When you will be in the exam hall, and if you have done your revision nicely, then you will be able to recall things which you have studied maybe months back. You will be able to recall, right? So don't worry about that. That happens with all of us. That is why another suggestion that I want to give to you is that on like as we are approaching the exam, we have to start reducing our workload, right? We have to do more of revision, and no new sources now. We have to consolidate what we have studied. Okay, that is what we need to do. And also make sure that on 23rd May, try to keep studying to a minimum. And try to relax as much as possible. Right. Why I am telling you that you should not study a lot on 23rd May and you should try to relax. The reason is simple, that see, on 24th we have to face the UPSC Prelims exam. The anxiety will be at an all-time high for most of the aspirants. So at that time, if you will start looking at your notes, etc., and there may be that panic that, oh, I am not able to recall this, I am not able to remember that, and so on. So make sure that by 22nd itself your revision is largely done, and don't leave anything for 23rd. 23rd May, the main idea should be to relax as much as possible. Do whatever you like, such as maybe walking, maybe listening to songs, maybe talking with your friends or parents, etc. Whatever makes you ease, or whatever keeps you at ease, right? Do that, because that will be very, very helpful. Otherwise, if you will start panicking on 23rd, then it will be difficult for you on 24th. So try to keep yourself in a very relaxed state on 23rd, right? That is my suggestion. And right, Kalam is asking which optional subject is best. So this is a discussion on prelims, but my suggestion is that all the subjects are good. You have to decide based on your strengths and weaknesses, right? So subjects are equally good, but you have to decide based on your interest, like which subject you are interested in. We'll maybe talk about this in some other session, right? Right now I want to address only the prelims related questions. Yes, if your attempt is in 2027, you can start optional. Starting early is never harmful. It is always helpful, right? Now, if I talk about anxiety and nervousness, see, don't try to fight it too much. Some amount of nervousness and anxiety is going to be there, right? And try to maintain a good routine. That is very much needed. Now, let me just take you through the exam day tips, right? Just before the exam, what you have to do. So day before exam, and then we will conclude this session. So day before exam, you have to relax, okay, as much as possible. It is difficult, I know, but you have to do it, okay, you have to relax. And for that you can listen to music, you can talk to friends, etc., right? Music, walking, talk to friends, etc., right? Friends who are not involved in UPSC preparation, otherwise your panic will only increase, right? Yoga, meditation, etc., these are things which will help you in relaxing and very helpful. And also, don't study too much, very less revision, right? And that too you can stop after say 12 o'clock. You can keep a cutoff on the day before the exam, right? Then what you should do, you should keep your admit card, pens, etc., in a pouch, right? Like it should be, everything should be set. It should not be last minute, like when you are trying to leave for the exam hall, then you are searching for it. No, it should be one day before, everything should be ready. In fact, you can also do something like, for example, if you are giving your exam in Delhi or such big city, so it is always advisable that you can also visit the center a few days before the exam, so that you have a general idea how much time will it take for you to reach to the center on the day of the exam, right? And try to reach before time. Yeah. Exam center at least 30 to 45 minutes before, right? So that you have enough time to adjust yourself, right? Then when the paper is given, read the instructions carefully. Don't think that I already know the instructions, right? Sometimes there may be a change, maybe like recently there was this Haryana Civil Services exam, and in the admit card itself, in the instructions, they had written that you have to attempt the questions and ABCD, right? You have to circle ABCD, and they also gave E, that question which you are not attempting, you should mark that one, right? And this was in Haryana Civil Services exam, right? So maybe such changes can sometimes be introduced. So UPSC has not done it so far, but that does not mean that they cannot do it, right? So what if they do it and it is mentioned in the instructions? So always make it a point that you read the instructions carefully, right? It will hardly take you 2-3 minutes, but do it. Don't assume that you know. And next, do the easy questions first. Right, in the first phase. So in the first phase, your aim should be to do the easy questions, right? Easy questions. And very carefully be extra careful while marking the OMR sheet. Always make it a point that you are checking that, okay, question number 14, so you are marking 14 only. Because sometimes what happens that we have attempted question number 14, but we skipped question number 15, we have gone to question 16, and while marking, we did not see that, okay, we have to leave question number 15. We circled the question number 15 boxes. So that has to be avoided, because if you do that mistake, it is going to cost you a lot in this exam. So make sure that you are not doing any such mistakes, right? So be very careful while filling up the OMR sheet. Now, last thing is that you have to go with an open mind. Go with an open mind. Go with an open mind. Right? Be flexible. That if a decent question paper is there, maybe 85 questions. If a really tough one is there, maybe 70, 75 questions. Right? So be flexible about it. Don't be under any kind of pressure that okay, I have to do these many questions, right? And believe me, even with very good preparation, maximum a student knows like the questions that one can answer confidently, like A, B, C, D. They may be around 25 to 30 questions, right, with very good preparation. So after that, it is all about making calculated guesses, right? And this statement cannot be right, this statement seems to be right, and so on. So we have to keep a cool head in the exam hall. That is very, very important. So if you follow all of these things, I'm sure that UPSC prelims will not be a very big challenge, right? It is a challenge, no doubt, but it will not be a very big challenge, and you will come out with flying colors, right? And finally, let me just reiterate that point that Drishti IAS is bringing this score booster series for all of you for prelims 2026, and this is a free initiative by Drishti IAS. It will be available on YouTube, and these will be free sessions. There are going to be 7 sessions. The subject list is like this: current affairs, polity, economy, geography, environment, science and tech, and international relations. We will be starting on 8th, right? And we'll be starting with the current affairs section, and these sections will try to cover the most important things which we cannot skip for UPSC Prelims 2026, right? So with this, I would like to end today's session. It has been a very nice session and with a lot of your questions. So I look forward to seeing you in these sessions, and we'll be starting on 8th of May with current affairs. Thank you.